Hello dear learners, this is Shindu Sarkar, an English teacher, English version, senior section, Milestone School and College. Welcome you all to our online class. I hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty and you have started this year with a good note. Dear students, I hope you will pay attention right from the beginning so that you can solve all the problems that you have. Now, I am going to start our lesson. Before going to start our lesson, I want to ask some questions from the previous lesson. Now, pay attention. Dear students, first question for you. What is paragraph? Can you say? Yes, very good. Paragraph is a piece of writing that consists of a series of sentences. Yes, very good. Now, dear students, second question for you. That is, how many parts are there in a paragraph? Can you say? Yes, there are 3 parts in a paragraph. What are they? Topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. Yes, very good. Now, dear students, third question for you. Can you say what is topic sentence? Yes, very good. A topic sentence is the sentence that gives the main idea of the paragraph. Okay, dear students, very good. You have done well. I think all of you have learned the previous lesson properly. Dear students, now we are going to start our today's lesson. That is OCW number 7. Okay, dear students, pay attention. We are going to discuss a very important thing. You know, it is an important part of a sentence. Okay, so can you remember what is the important part of a sentence? Who can say, dear students? Yes, very good. This is verb. Okay, so we are going to learn today verb. You know, verb is an important part of a sentence, and you know it is called an important parts of speech of the English language. Okay, dear students. So now we are going to start verb. Before going to start verb, dear students, you have to know what is verb actually. So this is the definition of the verb. Verb is a word, or you can say verb is a parts of speech that tells or asserts about a person or a thing. Yes, write it down, dear students. Write it down in your sheet of copy. This is the definition of the verb. Okay, dear students. Now we are giving some examples here. Here, suppose Karim plays football. Which one is verb here, dear students? Plays. Yes, very good. Plays is a verb here. Now, you know that there are many kinds of verbs in our English language. So, we are going to discuss the kinds and the uses of that things properly. Okay, dear students. So, here, first, verb is of how many kinds at first? Verb is of 2 types generally. That is finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Finite verbs. Then you have to know first what is finite verb. Finite verb, here, finite verb is a verb that completes the phrase clearly. Okay, and it is changed according to the number or person of the subject. Is it clear? Yes, very good. Now, non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs, generally it is not changed according to the number or person of the subject. Okay, dear students, non-finite verb is of 3 types. This is gerund, participle, and infinitive. Okay, dear students, now take a look. Okay, dear students, here I have told you that non-finite verb is of 3 types: gerund, participle, and infinitive. At first, I am going to discuss gerund. You know, gerund, I have written here verb plus ing equal to noun. Here, dear students, you have to remember that main form of the verb, and you have to add ing, then it will be acting as noun. If it is acted as noun, in that case, it will be called gerund. Now, let me clear it. I am giving some examples, more examples for clearing your idea. Here, example, Dear students, you know that walk. Suppose I tell you that she or he walks in the garden. In that case, it acts as a verb. Okay, so walk is a verb. Now I am adding ing with that. Walking. Okay, walking is a good exercise. Here. So here you are getting a verb plus ing. Now the question is it working as noun or other parts of speech? Now you should know it. I mean, you should watch it or you should observe it. The position. Okay, position here. Look at the position. It is used as subject. You know that subject, the whole subject. I mean, all the subjects and objects are called noun. So here it will be subject. You know, so subject is acting here. Subject, you know, as per the subject, we know that all the subjects are noun, so it is noun here. So we can call it gerund because verb plus ing at the same time it has been working as here and it has been working here as a noun. So it is called gerund. So it is called gerund. You know, you may raise question that sir, will it be used only for subjects? No. If I give one more example, it will be more clear to you. Yeah, one more example. I like walking. I like walking. Here, look at here. You are getting here walking as objects. I like what? You know, if you make questions with the verb, what you can, if you get the answer, in that case it will be called object. So here subject, then verb, then object. I like what? I like walking. So here object is also called noun. Here we are getting a verb plus ing, walk plus ing. So it has been working here at the same time as noun. So it is called gerund also. It is called gerund. So this is the gerund. Okay, dear students, now we are going to learn participle. Okay, dear students, here I have written gerund and participle side by side because so that you can understand you properly. I mean, for the understanding of you, for the betterment of you, I have written here so that you can make the difference between these two actually. Dear students, okay, look at the board. Here, you know, I have written it earlier and you have understood it properly. Now, here, participle. Participle is also, in case of present participle is of three types. How many types? Three types. Present participle, past participle and perfect participle. This is the examples of present participle. Present participle. In case of present participle, here I have written here verb plus ing, that will be acting as an adjective. Here verb plus ing, but it is acting as a noun. But here it has been acting as an adjective. This is the difference. In case of gerund, it will be acting as noun. In case of participle, it will be acting as an adjective. This is the basic difference. But in case of present participle, okay, dear students, here present participle, walking, walk plus verb plus ing. But you can make questions, sir. How is it working as an adjective? Here, look at here, the position of the word. Tiger, noun. So before noun, we know that adjective is used. So it is adjective. Okay. So verb plus ing, it has been acting here as an adjective. So it will be called participle. Present participle. Here same thing. A stone, noun. We know that before noun we use adjective. So it will be acting as an adjective. At the same time it will be called present participle. Okay. So it will be called present participle. Present participle. Present participle. Okay, dear students, this is also same present participle in may call. So this is the example of the present participle. Now I am giving example of the past participle. Past participle. Here, for example, we wish for, or you can say, dear students, say, we prayed for his departed soul. Here, look at here, departed. I have told you that participle will be acting as an adjective, okay? As an adjective. Here, noun. Soul is here, noun. So it is an adjective. You know what? You know, here, the past participle form of the verb is used at the same time. It has been acting as an adjective. So it is past participle. Okay, past participle. Now, perfect participle. Perfect participle. Sorry. Perfect participle. Perfect participle. In case of perfect participle, you have to, you have to use having. Having. So here the example. Look at the example. Having, then B3 of the main verb. Having completed the work, he went there. Okay, dear students, so here you are using having. At the same time, you are using B3 of the main verb. So having will be used in case of perfect participle. So this is the example of perfect participle. This is the example of past participle. And these are the examples of, these two are the example of present participle. I think, dear students, you have got the idea about participle and gerund also. Now, dear students, I am going to discuss infinitive a little bit. Okay, dear students, now infinitive. In case of infinitive, you have to use to plus verb. If I give some examples, it will be more clear to you. Here, look at your examples. We wanted to go there. Here I have told you 2 plus verb. If you get 2 plus verb, it will be called infinitive. One more example for you. They came to help me. Here to help. So dear students, infinitive is very easy. 2 plus verb is called infinitive. And you have got 2 examples. 2 plus go, then 2 plus help. These are the examples of infinitive. Now dear students, I have to make it clear that we have discussed non-finite verbs. First one, gerund, then participle, and then infinitive. So these are the parts of non-finite verb. Okay, dear students. Now, dear students, we are going to start our discussion with the finite verbs. Okay, dear students. So take a look, dear students. Dear students, I gave you the definition of the finite verbs earlier. I think you can remember that. Okay, the verbs that completes the sense of the sentence at the same time is changed according to the number person of the subject is called finite verb. Can you remember? Yes, very good. Now, dear students, finite verb is of two types. How many types? Two types. This is principal verb and auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. Sometimes you may call it helping verbs. Okay? Helping verbs. Okay, dear students. Now we should know what is principal verbs. If I give examples, it will be clear to you. Okay, there look at the examples. Principal verbs. Rahul plays football. You know that principal verbs is the main verb of the sentence. Okay, there students here plays. I have told you in the definition that it is changed according to the number person of the subject. Here Rahul, third person singular number. That's why we have used here is because it is present indefinite tense. Okay, dear students. Now it has been acting here as the main verb. If I give one more example, it will be more clear. How? Rahul is playing football. So here you are getting two verbs, is and playing. I have told you earlier that here plays is the main verb. So here plays, as it is the present continuous tense. That's why you are using here ing with the verbs, with the main verbs. Occasionally we use it. Then here this is helping this main verb. That's why it is called helping verb. At the same time, you may call auxiliary verbs. So, am, is, are, was, were, these are the verbs. All these are the verbs. We verbs sometimes you may call. All these verbs are called helping verbs and auxiliary verbs. Those verbs always help the main verbs. Okay, dear students. So, this verb will be called auxiliary verb. Auxiliary or helping you may call helping verbs. Okay, and these are the main verbs or principal verbs. Principal verbs. Okay, dear students. So these are the example of the principal verbs and auxiliary verbs, or you can say helping verbs. I think it is clear to you, dear students. Now we are going to learn more about the principal verbs. Okay, take a look. Okay, dear students. Now principal verb. I have told you earlier the principal verb. Now principal verb is of two types. How many types? Two types. This is transitive verb and intransitive verb. So principal verb will be divided into two parts, that is transitive verb and intransitive verb. Before going to discuss that, you have to know what is the definition or what is transitive verb and what is intransitive verbs. Okay, dear students, transitive verbs, the verbs that take direct object is called transitive verbs. The verbs that take direct object is called transitive verb. If I give example, it will be more clear. Okay. Example, they solved the problem. Here solved, at the same time solve verb is used, and here object. If you make question, they solved what, then you will get the answer. If you make question with the verbs with what and whom. If you get answer, it will be called object. Okay. So dear students, you are getting here answer also. They solved what? Problem. So this is object. So the verb that takes object is called transitive verb. Is it clear to you? Okay, dear students. Now, what is intransitive verb? Intransitive verbs generally do not take objects. Okay, dear students. If I give example, it will be clear. So this is transitive verb. Now, example of the intransitive verbs. We arrived at the station. Here, look at here. Arrived, but here you are not getting any object. I mean direct object here. How? We arrived at. If you make question with what and whom, you will not get answer. Okay, you will not get answer. Okay, we arrived. You can make question then where. We arrived where? At the station, but you are not getting object because you are not getting answers making the questions. I mean with what and whom. So it indicates the place actually. Dear students, so this verb is called intransitive verb. Intransitive verb. Okay, dear students. So these are the difference between transitive verb and intransitive verbs. Generally, principal verb is of two types: transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. You know. So, and these are the examples. I think it is clear to you. Now, dear students, we are going to discuss some parts of the transitive verbs. Okay, dear students, sometimes we divide these transitive verbs into some more verbs. Now we are going to discuss this one. Okay, dear students. Okay, dear students, here transitive verbs may be of four types: affective verb, reciprocal verb, reflexive verbs, and consecutive verb. Okay, dear students. Now let's go to understand the affective verb. At first, affective verb. Here, affective verb. Then reciprocal verb we are going to discuss. Then reflexive verb, and then consecutive verb. Okay, dear students, affective verbs. The verbs, we know transitive verbs generally take object. Okay, dear students. But affective verb take. If I write here sentence, it will be clear. We met him. If I write up to this one, is it clear to you? We made him. I think it is not clear because you are making question. We made him what? Okay, there is little bit incomplete things here. So the verbs that is not completed by one object and take another object and is then completed is called affective verb. We made him captain. Dear students. Now observe it. I think it is now more clear. Okay, and the sentence is clear and you are getting the sense clear. Okay, we made him captain. But if I write here we made him up to this one, it is not clear to you. So the verbs that is not clear with the one object and takes another object to make the sense clear, it is called affective verb. Okay, dear students. So sometimes you may call it the verb intransitive verb of incomplete prediction. This is called affective verb also. Okay, dear students. Now reciprocal verb. You have completed reciprocal pronoun earlier. So it is very easy. If I give example here, reciprocal. Here, if I write here, they talked. They talked with one another. They talked with one another. Here, you understood in your class, in that class, pronoun plus one another is reciprocal pronoun, and this verb is called reciprocal verb actually. Okay, dear students. So this is reciprocal verb. Okay, dear students. Now I am going to give you the example of the reflexive verb. Reflexive verb. You also practice reflexive pronoun, and this is, very much easy. She, here example, she faint herself. This is reciprocal pronoun, and this verb is called reflexive pronoun, and reflexive, this one is reflexive verb. Okay, dear students, reflexive verb. This one is called reflexive verb. Now, possessive verb. In case of your voice cells, whenever you will practice voice cells, you will be introduced with this one, possessive. Okay, dear students, now I am giving examples. Possessive verb. Sometimes, it will act, possessive verbs. Here are examples. Examples: honey tastes sweet. Honey tastes sweet. Here, dear students, honey tastes sweet. Here, this verb is called possessive verbs. Why it is called possessive verbs? Sometimes these cells, the cells of the sentence, sometimes like active or sometimes like passive. Okay. Sometimes you will feel that subject is active, and sometimes you feel that it is not active. That's why. Okay, dear students, I am giving one more example. Iron feels hurt. Iron feels hurt. Here, feels is possessive verb. Okay, dear students. So, okay, dear students, this is possessive verbs. The verbs that is active in form and passive in cells is called possessive verb. And facultative verbs, the verbs that takes one more object to complete its cells, it is called facultative verbs. And then reciprocal and then reflexive is very much easy. You have learned it in your pronoun. So here you have got the examples here, reflexive verbs, and you have got the example here of reciprocal verbs. Okay, dear students. Now, dear students, I am going to ask you some questions in my feedback session. I think you have learned these verbs properly today, and you will be able to answer all the questions properly. Okay, dear students, let's do. Okay, dear students, in the feedback session, I have written here some questions. I think you will be able to answer these questions properly. Okay, dear students, first one. Here, he went to catch a flying bird. Okay, dear students. Okay, dear students, in the feedback session, I have given here some questions. I think you will be able to answer these questions properly. First one. He wanted to catch a flying bird. Okay, dear students, what will be the flying? Yes, very good. It will be participle, present participle, because noun is there. So it will be present participle. Present participle, because bird is noun here. At the same time, it has been acting as an adjective. Okay, dear students, now number 2. They elected him president. What type of verb elected? Yes, very good. Facultative verb. What will be? Facultative verb. Then here Number 3, I mean C number question. They wanted to go. What will be the answer, dear students? I mean, what type of verb it is? Yes, very good. This is infinitive. For non-finite verbs, at the same time it is infinitive. Infinitive. So, dear students, okay, dear students, in the previous session I have written here some question. First one is here he wanted to catch a flying bird. Then second one, they elected him president. Then third one, they wanted to go. And fourth one, reading is a good habit, reading. And then fifth or final one, rice and seed. Dear students, now I think you will be able to tell me the answers. First one, what will be the answer? Yes, very good. It will be participle, present participle. Then, because you are getting a noun, and at the same time it has been acting as an adjective. Okay, dear students, now what type of verb it is? Yes, speculative verb. Speculative verb, because it is taking one more object to complete its sense. Okay, dear students, now number C, they wanted to go. What it will be? Actually, it will be infinitive. Non-finite verb and infinitive. 2 plus verb. Okay, as it is. Okay, now reading is a good habit. Here we are getting verb plus ing, at the same time it has been acting as noun here. So it will be gerund. Very good. It will be gerund. Then fifth and final one for you. Rice shall see. What type of verb it is? Yes, students. Yes, very good. Quasi-passive verb. Quasi-passive verbs. So, dear students, I think all of you have learned the today's lesson properly, and you have paid attention properly. You have written all the things nicely. I think so, dear students. So now I am going to give you a diary today. Okay, dear students, look at the board. So, okay, dear students, homework for you. Exercise from Navadut book, learn. You will learn the exercise from your Navadut book. I think if you learn it, if you practice the exercise, you will be able to solve, all the questions properly that you have. So, dear students, thank you very much. See you again. Thank you all.